Welcome. I'm Janine Howard from Profile Magazine and Iconic Empires, and we have a powerhouse in the room today, Kim Lloyd.
Hello.
And Kim, you've got some really insightful information to share with people today about radical financial responsibility and how you took your companies from being bankrupt to $7 million, 7 figures in profit.
Yes.
And you have multiple 7-figure businesses. So you've got lots going on, but we want to talk about how you really were able to take yourself from that low, dark point of which I guess you probably felt in that bankruptcy to where you are today. So
yes,
let's dive in, Kim.
Absolutely. Yes. No, when my partner went bankrupt, we pretty much lost everything that we were building over many years. We had property portfolios and all that sort of stuff. And you know what? After everything kind of dissolved, we really tapped into, I guess, our core essence of our core being, of who we actually are. And we realized that none of it really mattered. We had each other. We really were able to understand our values, and that, we had the connection that we had together as a family. I had a new baby at the time. We had our health, and that was really all that mattered. And so we were just super grateful that from that space of gratitude, that's where we actually started to rebuild from, that space. And
a great space to build from, because if we're building from desperation and from fear, and we're building on top of that, we kind of only build that into that new structure, don't we?
Absolutely. So, and I really, I didn't really understand how gratitude, being that ultimate state of, receivership, I didn't understand the power of what we were actually tapping into at that time, to create from a space of our values, to create from a space of gratitude. And, it was just an amazing experience from then. Yeah.
And for anyone listening to this, did you just hear Kim say it was an amazing experience with her husband's business going bankrupt and a small baby? Right? So this is going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek into the type of mindset and the type of human being that Kim has had to become to really get to where she is today. So let's dive more into that, Kim, so tell us, how did you go from that stage to where you are today? It seems like a big jump. It seems, to be honest, like a quantum leap.
Yeah, definitely. I don't believe that we would have been able to do what we did without being really tapped into our connection to source, really. And there was definitely some quantum leaps, and there was actually a lot of barriers within our mind that we had to, belief systems and patterns that we had to clear to really allow us to transform and rebuild at the speed of light, almost. Yeah.
And you did it really quick, didn't you?
It did happen quick. It was probably a period of over 10 years, but radical jumps. We've gone from, sharing an income of 60,000-70,000 per year to 7 figures. But, in increments, it did lots of jumps along the way. I really believe in we had a vision, a really strong vision of where we wanted to be, and the exact place that we are now, where we are sitting in our life, the lifestyle that we wanted, where we were living, the house, everything. We had that vision when we were bankrupt, and when we had nothing, and we really just attached to that vision. And that, I believe, is what's been able to create the how. Kind of came to us. We just kept the vision, and the how. The how, you just work out the how as you go, don't you? Yeah.
Now you're talking like a personal development junkie, right?
Total personal development junkie. Yeah.
People who are down that, with personal development and just go, oh yeah, I get it. The people who perhaps are still on their journey with that, are still going, yeah, but how? Literally how?
Yeah.
So could you give some grounding to say, in the personal development world, what helped you, but also from the literal world? what to get to that point?
Yes, definitely. So creating a vision and really tapping into the feelings around what the vision was going to create for us. So that came into our values. But then we also took that radical financial responsibility that I believe in, which, you know, having clear goals, having clear financial goals, and really nutting out the space of in steps of how, you know, what it is that we needed to do with our finances, what it is we need to do. Our research around, okay, let's look for a business that fits with these values. So there's a lot of action, but a lot of inspired action that was in alignment to the vision and to into our values. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm going to dive even deeper with you, because this actually goes really, really quite deep of what you had to become to change along that way, because everything's a journey. You actually had to become someone different along the way, didn't you? As your vision grew. So can you speak into that a little bit more for us?
Absolutely. So for us, we've been I think part of my personal development journey was to be really mindful of my thoughts and my beliefs. And so our background, my husband's background, we had some really interesting conditioning around money. And, you know, like, you know, the programming of having to always work hard, all these beliefs impacted on our growth. And so as through the journey, we had to really, that radical, like a massive self-inquiry, and to really question why we did things the way we did. And, you know, a lot of our programming came from our parents, some good, some negative, and to just really sit with that and go, okay, well, is that belief true for me, or was it true for them? And to really just question everything and really, and expose ourselves to different circles and different environments. And so we went to lots of seminars, lots of, we tried to put ourselves in environments where people were doing what we wanted to do. And that really expanded our thoughts about what was possible for us.
Yeah, totally. So I'll jump forward a little bit, and if you can just give us a snapshot of where you guys are in business today, because it's, I will say, it's quite impressive.
Yeah. So we've built 5 gyms over the last 10 years. We've sold 2, so we're back to 3, but we are moving forward again, and we're doing another 3 gyms in Sydney. So we're back into that expanding. We've been sitting and cruising along, you know, for a while, and we're like, you know, we hit that plateau of like, you know, really comfortable again, and go, now we need to kind of stretch ourselves and expand again, and to really, and we're sort of, you know, we're going through that process of that resistance. You know, you always feel resistance when you go expanding, so we're going through that process of pushing out. So, and we've also started doing coaching programs, so we're helping people to take radical responsibility of their financial destiny, and we're helping them. We're sort of walking with them to try and help them buy their own business. So if they wanted to buy a gym, like, our expertise is obviously in the fitness industry, but we're looking at helping people buy franchises and things like that we know. So, and just helping them with the fear that comes up and all that sort of stuff, and how to actually manage the structure of your financial house for your household, but also the cash flow of your business. So yeah, so that's how we're kind of expanding now with our business, and it's been really rewarding. Yeah.
And I love that it's very much been, what you're doing now is a collection of the journey that you guys have been on, and all of those steps of personal growth and that self-inquiry and all the lessons that you learned along the way. Is you're not just having, you know, doing gyms, you're actually giving back to the community by helping them walk those steps as well, but probably a lot quicker than it happened for you guys.
Absolutely. Look, we've made so many mistakes, and we've had so many failures with stuff. So everything that we kind of, the lessons that we've learned, we don't give anything to anybody else that we haven't tried on and done and embodied for ourselves. So we know the process, we know where some of the pitfalls are, and we've made mistakes, and that's what we help people now through avoiding the mistakes that we've made. So but it's been, I think that's where I think over time you have these financial traumas, and you have these situations, like life is just not perfect, things happen, and I think what we've been able to do is really take the beauty of those lessons and the information that we learnt, and now we're able to actually use it for a good purpose.
Yeah. So what would you say to someone who may be finding themselves in a similar situation of being in that bankruptcy period? Because to give a snapshot, I mean, I actually know some people in these situations, and there's a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, a lot of anxiety, a lot of contraction. Like, I can imagine these people would be thinking that my life is done, like I'm wrong, I'm bad. So what would you say to those people right in the thick of it to get them starting on the journey out of it? Because I will remind people that you guys literally did this, and you didn't just get out of bankruptcy, you actually got to multiple 7-figure businesses and 7 figures in profit. So that's no mean feat. So give us some real tools of how to move out of that.
Yeah, look, I think what you said then about the shame, the guilt, the blame, you do go through that process where you feel really, where you have all those feelings. You feel like you've failed, and I mean that's something that we did have to work on, and we did have to do that in self-inquiry. And I think if we remind ourselves, of what we already have, like what we have that can't be taken away from us, which is, for me, I was fortunate to have, a soulmate husband and a beautiful baby at the time. So I think if we can reconnect to what we have, we have the air, we always have something to be grateful for. But to also know that we are human, and that we are living in this world where currency is something that we need, and to be in acceptance of that, and that we make mistakes. And things go wrong, and we misjudge things, and that's okay. We can be in acceptance of that and go, it doesn't have to be over. There is infinite possibilities to rebuild. There's infinite possibilities to rebuild quickly, and to actually just to really tap into the infinite possibilities that can actually rebuild your situation really quickly. And for us, I'm so grateful for the opportunity of going bankrupt, because we wouldn't have taken the radical steps to rebuild if we weren't. We'd probably be still working in 9-to-5 corporate jobs. But that bankruptcy made us go, okay, now we need to rebuild like super fast. And it made us actually look outside of the box and look at unconventional ways of rebuilding wealth. And I think that it's, just to believe that, to forgive yourself if you're beating yourself up about making a mistake, to forgive yourself, to remember what you've got, the love and the connection that we have in our families and our friends, and this beautiful, the world that we live in, and to believe that there is infinite opportunities to rebuild as fast as your mind can keep up.
So can we speak a little bit more into what the hell infinite possibilities mean? Because it can just sound like a fancy phrase that, someone who's doing really well would come out with. And I'm agitating that, because sometimes there's a real disconnect for people. They're like, oh, it's all right for you. This infinite possibility things, it's not for me. So can you give us a little bit of the how of how you actually tapped into, and how people can tap into that infinite possibilities?
I guess for us, back to my experience. So when we were rebuilding, my husband went bankrupt. I didn't go bankrupt. So I was able to retain a small amount of money, but we didn't have enough to buy a business. But our vision saw us buying a business that created flexibility and freedom for our family, so we could have a great lifestyle. So tapping into, I've just lost my train of thought. So I've gone blank.
Content is really where
infinite possibilities. So we really, we just made a commitment to the vision. And I think when you tap into the quantum field, there is infinite possibilities all there just waiting for us. If you connect to a vision that's right for you, that's in your alignment to your life and your soul, then I think it's about just exploring, getting resourceful and really, you know, when we went to go for the gym, we looked at like hundreds of different businesses. We looked at so many different P&Ls. We didn't have enough money for any of them, but we just kept playing in this space of, let's just check it out. Let's just investigate. Let's just follow that thread. And we just kept following different threads of research until something came up. And then we liked something that was in alignment to it. Again, we didn't have enough money. So then we just go, okay, well, how can we make this happen? And we kept going, getting resourceful. And then miracles happen when you hop in that space of like, yes, I'm just going to commit. I'll find a way. I'll find a solution. I'll just keep looking till I find a way. And then for us during the GFC, we found a landlord who was desperate for a tenant, and they paid for our fit out of a gym. And they gave us 6 to 9 months free rent. I can't remember exactly, but that actually got us on our feet. And we had then we also go, okay, well, we still didn't have enough. So we go, well, we might just get a business partner in for 20% share. And so all these things, you just go, okay, you've got your vision, you do your research, and then it's like the universe will meet you halfway. You know, if you start taking action, you'll come to the party. So you're kind of co-creating with that quantum field, co-creating with the universe.
I love that so much. I'm all over, Greg Braden, Dr. JoeDispenza, and like all of the masters science teachers of quantum mechanics, and how, we don't need to go into it here, but science has proven that there is infinite possibilities for all of us. And it's really a shift in our mindset from any lack, fear, scarcity into infinite possibilities. That is exactly where it is, isn't it?
Exactly. And look, that's what's been, I only read Dr. JoeDispenza in the last 12 months and to really understand that science. And I realized that I've been doing that all along by connecting to a vision and just sitting in that state of gratitude with my vision, and then just going out and just looking for, taking the action, taking the inspired action. It's amazing that, I love that the science is there now to back up something that people have been doing for so long, unintentionally.
Totally. And, a lot of people talk about law of attraction and manifesting. This is all of that, but really grounded in science, all the way down to atoms and how, I'm a biologist by trade.
Yes.
I have a magazine.
I love it.
Sorry. But so for me, I love the science side of things, and it allows me to take it from what can seem to be a really spiritual concept into something that's very grounded. And I know that that's for you guys really important for you, isn't it, as well? That it's not just being about being spiritual and being up in the clouds. It's really grounding it into the reality of day to day. At the end of the day, we are human. We do live in this world. Absolutely. And you guys have been really good at like bringing that into your daily life and into your businesses, haven't you?
That's it. That's exactly right. So, I love the woo-woo stuff, is what people call it, which is the science. But bringing that in and knowing that, okay, we are spiritual beings, but we are living in a human world. And we do need money as a resource. Money is not good or bad. It's just a resource that we need to create a comfortable living and a life a life that, that we love. So I just believe in like really taking that radical responsibility around our finances to really, a lot of people like to kind of be in denial or not look at the numbers, or, not really tap into the power of actually taking that responsibility around trying to create what you want around your finances. And it could be cleaning up your financial house. It could be creating systems in a business. But it's really that grounding work that brings the two really integrate both of those energies together to create that powerhouse of transformation.
Yeah. We have a saying in our company, it's money loves order.
Absolutely. Divine order, it's part of, it's their order. It also likes clarity. It likes to know what it is that you actually want. I mean, so many people just go, I want more money, or I want more clients, or I need more sales. It's like, exactly how much more money do you want? How many more sales do you want? Like, just get clear, get specific around the numbers, because, if you've got it, you might have a great vision of what the lifestyle might look like, or you might have clarity of what the feelings are, but what are the numbers, and how do you marry those two together? So to create that real powerhouse of and then you can break things, reverse engineering things. So if you want to create $100,000 for the year, if you're a real estate agent, how many sales does that mean that you need to make? And how do we break that down to a quarterly or a weekly inspired list of action to do? So it's all those little details, the details. I love the divine order, details, clarity, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and I honestly think there's two things that are missing links with people growing their revenue. One is the details, that they're too afraid to get the details, because if you come from a spiritual sense, you can say, oh, no, it'll just come. But it really needs to be grounded into those specifics, and taking that inspired action often isn't happening for people.
Absolutely.
So they'll be sitting there saying, but I've been meditating and manifesting, but it's still not coming.
Absolutely. And that's why I kind of like, I know that lots of people are in that space, that creative space, where they're just going, I'm just going to manifest it. I'm just going to make it happen. But, I kind of look at it like, you're going to a chef's kitchen, and you've got this amazing chef, and he or she or it can, create anything that you want. But if you ask for just like a salad, a green salad, and you get a salad with, chicken and avocado, and, it's not what you want, well, you haven't asked for it. You've got a salad, that's right. So if you want something different, you need to be specific about what it is that actually is. So if you wanted a peach and Caesar salad, then you need to get really specific and ask for every single detail in there. So you get clarity, got specific. And that way you've got more chance of having your vision come through, rather than, the process will come in as well of how to do that when you're more specific.
Yeah, and you have a company, you call it Life by Design, because it's literally that. It's designing the life you want, the business you want, and all of the details of that, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes. So it's about getting really specific on your vision, and really getting clear about all the specifics, all the clarity. And then once you've got that clarity, once you can really tap in, and all the feelings and all the goodness that comes from that, but then actually taking that and going, okay, so what do we need to do in the financial house to make that vision happen? What do we need to do in terms of action, and this is the end result we want. How can we work backwards now and make that all fit, and bend our finances, and create, but the process of both.
And so tell us a little bit more about, I love your radical financial responsibility. I want to learn a little bit more about that. So tell us, get as deep as you can on that topic for me.
So really it's about having those hard conversations with whoever that might be, with your partner, with yourself. And a lot of people have resistance about actually just diving deep into their financial structure. So I don't like the word budget, but I do a budget a few times a year, just to create awareness about what's going on in my personal financial house, but also for each business. So it's all money in, money out, and, making sure that there's always money left over to be able to put that money to work, or to put it to another investment. So it's all this kind of, it's about really, for me, over the years, we have had to take responsibility around our spending. and, you know, really tap into when you're aware of your spending and aware of what's going on in your financial house, you can start to uncover some of the emotions that we have with money and how we emotionally spend and how we really consume excess that's really not really contributing any value to our life. And so I like to kind of sometimes, you know, for some financial houses, we go in and we trim the fat, and not in order to sacrifice, but to create new choices around what it is that they actually want, and making new choices to actually create what they want, rather than just floating by and just tap, tap. You know, we have our cards. It's so easy to tap away and not be aware of actually where our money's going.
Yes. And I do love that, because we do love to spend from an emotional place and have a story that our spending is justified.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I get to the point where we don't have any excess to, as I love what you said, make your money work for you, like get it to work. Yes,
absolutely. So I think a big part of our process is that we've always ensured that we've lived within our means. I mean, I know that in other stages of our lives, we haven't done that. And, you know, if you're going in minus with your spending each week, I mean, you can do the maths on that and see where you're going to end up. And that's not going to be a place that you really want to go. So it's about taking that responsibility around, actually, this is our income at the moment. What can we do to increase it, if that's what you want to do? But also, if you can't increase your income, which some people are not wanting to do, or they love their jobs, but their jobs, you know, their income is capped, then you have to look at the expenses that you have, and you have to make sure those expenses are less than your income. And I know that sounds like a simple concept, but it's a concept that so many of us are not doing. And I like to sort of always ensure that there's money left over, and then that, you know, for savings, to actually put that to work. And I'm all about that. I believe there's sort of 3 stages or 3 energies to making money. You know, you've got the making money energy, and that's all about, you know, creating income. It's very expansive and powerful. But then you've got that keeping money. So how do you keep money? And that's about it. That can feel like a very contracting energy for some people. But it's just, you know, if we just take that responsibility around, okay, well, what is it that we're spending money on? Do these items that we spend money on actually add value to our family or to our life? And if they don't, like, why are we spending money on it? Why are we wasting money? And then the third energy is again very expansive. It goes into, okay, well, we've kept some money now, let's grow it, and let's do the numbers around how we can grow it. Where's the best place for us to grow that money? Is it in renovating or flipping a investment property? Is it in shares? Is it a gym like what we do? Or is it, you know, there's lots of opportunities for people depending on what resonates for them, what they're aligned in. But the key is to make sure that there's money left over to be able to grow that and have that money working for you then.
Yeah. And I love that. And it seems very linear and simple. But just give me an insight. Why do you think people live beyond their means?
I think it's very easy to, in the world that we live in now. I mean, consumerism is at an all-time high. So we are bombarded with so much marketing, way more than ever before, because we've got Facebook and all these social media platforms. And all this marketing is encouraging us to spend. It's encouraging us to, the marketing's very, very advanced now, and it's really triggering our emotions. They know what our pain points are. They know everything about us, and we're marketed to feel these emotions and to emotionally spend things. We think that we just want to go out and buy something new, but we've probably implanted that seed by a marketing, you know, agent, and all these, you know, beautiful images on Instagram of beautiful dresses 1,000 times before we've actually gone and just spent that money. But we also have things that make it really easy for us to impulse buy now. We can buy anything we want on our phone at any time with Afterpay and all these different things. So we're human. we are emotional beings. We act a lot on instinct and are driven by emotions. So our money spending habits are going to be really reflected by that environment. And it's up to us to really tap in to ourselves and work out, actually, what is it that I want to create, not what people want me to buy, like what, without all this exposure from the outside world, tapping inside and going, what is it that I want? And then building that vision, building that plan. And then when all that temptation, when you go into the shops, all that temptation comes, you can ask yourself, is this in alignment to my vision? Am I spending this? Will this purchase be in alignment to that? Is it going to add value to my money? Is it going to spark joy, like Marie Kondo says? Yeah. And if it's a no, then you don't feel bad. You don't feel like you're sacrificing, because you're actually just changing the choice. It's actually just, no, I'm actually choosing for this. I'm choosing the lifestyle. I'm choosing to put my money to work so that eventually I don't have to, hopefully. Yeah. So it's just getting clear on that.
And really, like, to wrap up our interview, that's really what you're all about for yourself and your family, isn't it? About creating freedom and independence.
Totally. Like, everything that we've done is to create freedom, freedom choice, to be able to raise. Like, for me, it was about, I wanted to be there as a full-time mum for my kids. I wanted to, so we had to put our money to work, and everything that we had, we put into a business so that that could return us an income, where we could employ other people and get staff, and just so we could have to actually just live a lifestyle that we actually, to actually just be, rather than have to be constantly doing. So it is about both taking getting the vision, but taking that radical responsibility and getting your money to work for you, to create more freedom.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, you know, for those of you listening, reading, watching today, if you could take just one thing away, what Kim's teaching you, it's really that radical responsibility of your finances, that it's about your choices. You get to choose how you live, how you spend, and you have infinite possibilities to do all of that.
Absolutely. That's it. Summed it up perfectly.
So, Kim, is there any last words that you'd love to share before we leave today?
Yeah, I think so many of us, you know, in this environment don't allow ourselves to just tap into that vision. So I think get out a journal and just, you know, start just give yourself permission to just dream a little bit, to think big, to get outside the comfort zone and think and create. I think if you create a vision that's, you know, in alignment to you and your family and what you would like, and then take each step from there.
Beautiful. Awesome. Well, it's been so good talking to you today, Kim.
Thank you.
And if anyone wants to reach you, where's the best place to find you?
Usually just on Facebook. Kim Lloyd, my Facebook profile, is pretty much where I've got a business profile as well. But yeah, both on Facebook. That's where I pretty much connect with people. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much for your time, Kim.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.